What's up, guys? This is Beloved and Everlasting. This is log number 9.
Yes, it is.
Travid.
Dante.
Um, I'm sorry, guys. We forgot to shout out our sponsors for the last 2 episodes. Unfortunately, they have terminated their contracts. I'm just kidding. Shout out our sponsors and our new sponsor, United Boxing Academy, Old School Barbell, and Santa Cruz Paleo. Use code Dante/Travid to get your discount. And yeah. Today we're talking about discipline. And willpower. For discipline, it says the definition is the practice of training people to obey rules. I don't think that's the right one. Never mind. Ignore that one. That don't even seem right. This one says the quality of being able to behave and work in a controlled way which involves obeying particular rules or standards. I guess we can go with that. Like the standards part. And I think we're talking about, when we're saying discipline, we don't mean like disciplining someone. We mean like discipline in the sense of
Self-discipline.
self-discipline.
Having your own either routine or your own, tasks or goals that you want to accomplish for the day or the week or the month, whatever it is, and actually sticking to it. Having a game plan, sticking to it.
Having discipline in the sense of, like you said, sticking to it, like doing the things you've had to do no matter what, like staying disciplined, like staying on track, moving towards your goals. Because if you want to reach your goals, the only way you're going to reach them is you keep working at it, every day. So obviously the most easiest way we can talk about discipline is in a sense of health, like working out.
Yeah.
Like staying consistent in that, like training every day.
Yep.
Like training your body every day. Because if you want to become heavyweight champion of the world like Dante, you got to train at that every day and stay disciplined,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think, that's the first step. Just knowing what you want and then setting the plan. You got to have a plan for whatever it is. What is it my dad says? He said, failure to plan is planning to fail. So you got to have the plan first. And you got to stick to it, whatever it may be. Whether you're telling yourself, I'm going to cut out this type of food, or I'm going to start eating these types of food, or I'm going to start going on runs, or I'm going to start going to the gym. It's not about doing it when you want to do it. It's doing it because you have to. And I guess that's where willpower kind of goes hand in hand with it too. It's about showing up every day.
Because you have to.
You have to.
It's like showing up. You literally had to show up every day. Like if you try to branch off, then even if you take one day off, or take one day off, take some rest days.
Yeah.
Don't
I guess we're just talking in a general sense, whatever it may be.
What I was gonna say is when you start taking multiple days off, you're gonna start telling yourself, "Oh, I'll take another day off. I'll take another day off. I'll take another day off."
Snowballs.
Yeah, you're gonna start losing time, bro. Time is precious. Time is valuable. Time is money. Don't waste my time. And what I'm saying is, even on those days you really don't want to, that's when you got to do it the most. If we're talking about let's say you're into bodybuilding. Shout out my friend Noah. He's gonna be pro one day. But that dude, let's use him as an example. He's already competing. He's our age, and that dude trains every day, or practically every day. Only takes the rest days that he has to take for his body to grow. But he's always in there training like an animal. I've never seen Noah have a bad training session. I've never gone to the gym with Noah and he's like, "Oh, let's leave." I've never seen Noah do anything that isn't working towards his goal of becoming the best bodybuilder he can be. So it's literally, of course, I'm sure he has days where he's like, I'm tired, I don't want to train today. He worked a 12-hour shift. He's a manager, and he's probably like, I don't want to go today. But he still does. He still goes.
Shows up.
Because he knows what his end goal is, to be the best bodybuilder he can be. And the only way he can do that is if he keeps showing up, keeps training with that same intensity every time, and not falling short and falling behind. Because he knows the only way he can get there is by training this hard. And, let's imagine that's an example, but you can transfer that discipline. It doesn't have to be training. It can be whatever you want it to be. A mental discipline. If you, like we talked about in the last one, people who watch porn, people who are addicted to porn.
Yep.
But you're just not disciplined. If you can't stop, you're not disciplined. And that's just something you just have to switch in your brain. How would you think they could switch that? To turn that discipline switch on? Personally.
Like I said, I think it
willpower,
just comes down. It's just willpower. It just comes down to willpower, really, it's a muscle. It's just
Yeah.
like working out itself. Like discipline and willpower, it's not something you just gain in a day.
Yeah.
It's literally you have to grow that muscle, whatever it is. It's like if you want to cut out any habit, you know, it might be tough first. Maybe you'll only last one day, but then the next time you might last 4 days. Next time maybe a week, and slowly but surely you start to get stronger and stronger. But it requires you to actually build the muscle. It's like in the gym, you don't just go in and you're automatically hitting a plate unless you're just built like that. But
It's
you know,
forever to hit a
it
plate.
takes increments. You need to go build it slowly and slowly, but you have to stay consistent. And that's where the discipline comes in. You have to be consistent with it. And I'd say that's the way to go about it, whatever it may be, even if it's a small win, if you will say, whether it's something you're like you said, porn, or maybe it's just junk food or certain candy or whatever it might be that you're trying to cut out. If you could just tell yourself, you know, I'll go a day or two, I'll go a week, and you can stick to that, well then that's when you step it up a little bit more. Maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks, a month, and maybe you'll just go all out. But that's how you get about it. It's about small, you know, gradual increases. You know, but that's the way, you know, to try and increase it, in my personal opinion.
It's like building it into a habit. Like you've got
Exactly.
Atomic Habits.
Exactly.
You guys can read it if you want to, but I can summarize it for you. It's basically, he talks about in order to build habits, you start them out slowly. You start stacking habits on top of each other. So it's like, maybe the first day you go to the gym for 10 minutes. The next day you go for 20 minutes. The next day you go for 30 minutes. And I kind of incorporated that because I finally started doing cardio, guys. That heartbreak got me to do cardio. And I enjoy cardio now.
Oh, man.
It's like I started by doing the Stepmaster. And I started like, the first day I think I did 5 minutes. Second day, 10 minutes. Started increasing the speed. And now I do 20 because I jump rope after, but I can do up to 30 if I wanted to, you know? And I jump rope after. I'm doing that cardio all the time now. Trying to, you know, I got disciplined at it. I knew I had to add it in there because, yeah, you got to train your muscles, but you got to train your heart. You got to train your lungs to be better at that. So, and here I am. I also knew it's good for the mind.
It is.
You know? Like we said, discipline your mind also. It's not discipline your mind to not fall into your vices, like you said, like junk food, porn, whatever it is, and start taking it out slowly. Like, we're not saying that you can't have a freaking crumble cookie. Like, go get a crumble cookie. Just don't eat like 12 crumble cookies.
Yeah.
Don't get the whole lineup. Like, you don't gotta indulge into gluttony and like stuff like that. Like, discipline yourself, because at the end of the day, it's gonna help you more into growing into something, into becoming that best version of yourself that you want to be. And like you said, all it takes is willpower and slowly working at it each day. I'm basically saying what you said.
Yeah. I feel like you feel good about it too.
Yeah.
As you see yourself starting to get better. Like that's where, I think that's also what helps with not only just, you know, practicing it all the time, but I think a lot of times just seeing yourself like, oh wow, like I actually, you know, have been sticking to it. I've been good like for a month now. I've been good for 2 months. It's been a year and I'm still good at it. I feel like that also is what helps you just keep going, just knowing that, you know what, I've already come a long way. Let me just keep going. Even if I don't want to show up, just look back and see what you've done for however long it is. I feel in my personal experience, that's also what helps me go along too. Just saying, you know what, I've already gone this far. Let me just keep going. Even if I don't feel like it, I could just show up one more day. Maybe next day will be a little easier.
Yeah.
And I think that is also what helps a lot too when trying to build willpower and discipline. Obviously, nobody's perfect. I'm far from perfect, but
when you like see the progression, you're saying? That's
exactly,
what
when
helps?
you see the progression, yes.
Yeah, especially like even mental progression, when you're seeing like a change in the way you think. And I guess I can jump into the discipline of following God right now, because the more and more I read my Bible, the more and more I like pray, the more and more I dedicate my life to God and give my life to Him, I feel a sense of huge progress, like mentally, like calmness, being able to be kind to people. And I see that's a discipline too, you know, staying focused on God and staying true to that. So, yeah, that's another part of discipline, I guess. Staying disciplined to God Himself.
I think that's one of the most difficult things, to be
honest. Yeah, that is, because sin is, like we talked about last week.
Yeah.
Sin is a very hard thing to combat as a human.
But I think being able to stick with that also makes a lot of things in life easier.
Yeah.
I think most of the time too. But yeah, you want to, do you want to look up
Willpower?
Yeah. They do go hand in hand anyway, so.
Yeah. It says, for willpower, the ability to control one's own actions, emotions, or urges. That's pretty good in itself. So, like we said, willpower, I guess in the same sense of like controlling those urges, those bad urges, those like thoughts to do bad things or things that aren't good for you, or just in a moment of weakness you want to do something. That's when willpower comes in the most handy, you know?
Mhm.
Like, if you want to, I don't even know.
That's when you grow it the most, really, when it's the hardest.
Yeah.
That's when that willpower, that's when you build that muscle the strong. It's easy to turn away from, you know, whatever it is. If you have difficulty, you know, giving up smoking or something or drinking, it's easy when you don't feel like smoking or drinking to be like, nah, I don't want that. But it's when you have that urge to want to drink or smoke, and it's right there in front of you, and you have to still say no, or you still tell yourself, you know what, I'm gonna say no. That's when you actually build the willpower. That's what true willpower is. It's when it's actually difficult, not when it's easy to just do it.
It's really easy to say you don't want to do something when it's not around you, or when it's right in front of you. It's like with lust. If I don't have no girls around me, I ain't gonna be bugging for some. But if a girl's throwing herself at me, that's when it's like,
different.
you know.
That's when it's really. That's when it's really, I guess, put to the test of whether you actually have the willpower.
I think that's also why lust is one of the hardest things. Because even in the Bible, it doesn't. It's like one of the ones where it says literally to run away from lust. So shoot, man, that's what I'm saying, bro. A girl comes up to you, you run the other way. It's gonna help you out anyways.
Just don't even try and test yourself.
Don't even try. Just run away from that girl, bro. But what we're saying is, it's easy to say you don't want to do something, like he said, when it's not in front of you, but when it's in front of you, it's a lot harder to say no. Like, let's say you're out with your friends and they're all drinking. You need to be able to, if you don't want to get drunk, then you need to be able to look for the willpower in yourself and not do it, you know? You don't have to drink with them. You can still have a good time. And I don't believe in peer pressure. Not to get off topic, but I think peer pressure is a lie. And I think you really wanted to do it in the first place, and you're just finding
a lack of willpower.
Yeah, you didn't have the willpower. You just fell into it because you really wanted to do it. You just are using your people as a peer pressure excuse or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, you have the willpower inside of you. You just have to dig deep and find it. I do believe that everyone has the willpower inside of them. It's in your innate being. And if the easiest way I think you can ask for the willpower is to get on your knees and ask God for the willpower. If you don't think you have the power to stop doing something,
ask for His strength.
Exactly. You lean onto God. He literally says, lean onto me, not onto your own understanding. Like, literally, me personally, when I have certain issues, like with people, and I don't want to talk to them, but I don't want to talk to them, but I still want to talk to them, I get on my knees and I'm like, God, please keep this away from me. God, please give me the strength to stay away from this. And then I do instantly feel a sense of something come over me to, okay, calm. You don't have to chase this thing. So maybe your willpower can come from God completely. And maybe that's where it even comes from, to be honest. So just ask for help with that. And if you, ask your friends for help too.
That too.
Lean onto a friend.
Not everything has to be by yourself.
Yeah.
Like it's like you said. You could even have a friend who does the same thing. If you guys are both trying to go to the gym, you guys keep each other accountable.
Yeah.
Have somebody else, you know. If one person doesn't feel like going, now you got your friend who's telling you, nope, you got to come with me.
Exactly.
Or vice versa, whatever it might be. Or a group of friends, whatever it might be that you guys are trying to overcome, you know, as a group.
You guys both don't want to talk to girls, so you guys cuddle instead.
Right. But
anyways.
Yeah, not everything has to be solo. It's like you said. If you need to draw on strength from God, you need to draw on strength from your friends or your family, whatever it need be. There is that. Not everything has to be by yourself. Because sometimes, you know, if it's by yourself, I feel like when you end up falling back into whatever it is that you were trying to not do, it makes it a lot easier to just beat up on yourself, if you will. Especially if you know you've come a long way, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like the example I just gave. Like, let's say you've gone a year of whatever it is, no porn, no sugar, whatever it might be. and you fall back into it. I feel like when you're by yourself, it's easier to just beat up on yourself and say, wow, like I did all that for what?
Yeah.
But, you know, I think if you have a group or just somebody to help you accountable, it makes it a lot easier for that person to help you pick back up. Just be like, you know what, you messed up today, or you know, you might have failed today, or falling back today, but it's okay. You got tomorrow. We'll start tomorrow again.
Yeah.
Like, we'll just kind of back up to tomorrow.
And I think it's really important to have that. I think it's from personal recent experience, it's not good to isolate. It's, you might think it's what you need to do, but it's not. People are going to be reaching out to you. Take their hands. Let them pick you up. Maybe you're not going to be able to pick yourself up on your own. Maybe that's God sending that person to help pick you up. And like you said, don't punish yourself for falling back into something. Like, yeah, maybe give yourself a little smack on the back. That's about it. Don't, like, put yourself down for it, you know? Like we said, it's human nature to fall into sin. It's human nature to fall into these things that we shouldn't fall into. And like you said, have your friend pick you up. Start again tomorrow. Let them tell you, hey, bro, it's going to be okay. You got this. Come back. To have that reminder, to have someone there for you to help pick you up is going to help you leap goes like way farther than you would have gone on your own, I think.
Yep.
I mean, we're social creatures.
Literally, I was going to say that right after. It's true.
We're meant to be around each other, you know? I'm meant to be alone, I don't think.
Nope. No, we're not.
So
we're always meant to be in a group. That's how we accomplish things as a group, as one, having one goal, one shared common goal, and helping each other, you know? But I was going to say something. I lost my train of thought for a second.
Well, where do you find your willpower from? Or what are you disciplined about?
I think a lot of it has to do with one of the biggest things for me was trying to be more understanding, I guess, towards people. Try to be more kind. That was like what I really wanted to work on the most. And there was also the gym as well. But I think the main part was, being more kind to people and being more understanding. And that, for me, it required me to humble myself. So I think I had a very big ego. So I would just try my best to humble myself and, keep no judgments on anybody, and just trying my best to actually hear people instead of just making my own assumptions and sticking with that.
Yeah.
I think that was the biggest thing I've been working on throughout this whole year. That was my biggest, I guess, goal, if you want to say. And obviously, again, hasn't been perfect, but I'd say, looking back, I think I've made a lot of progress.
Mine's been kind of similar, just like disciplining my mind to be more strong and more loving to myself. Because I feel like I struggled with loving myself due to certain situations.
Right.
And also learning to discipline myself to be a better listener to people, to be not as dismissive and to be more understanding. And I feel like I'm already like pretty empathetic towards people, but to, instead of just going to, because I feel like a lot of people come to me to talk to me about certain things, and I feel like instead of just giving them answers, I got to be better at listening.
Right.
And just saying, okay, I'm listening to you, and provide them with whatever they need me to provide them with. Because maybe they don't always want answers. They just want someone to listen to. Maybe they just want someone to like know what they're going through, whatever it is. And another discipline was like trying to get into that cardio, which I've gotten into. Get into reading more, discipline my mind, and then get more discipline with God, like not falling into sin, because sin is easy to fall into. Not doing things that are bad for me. So just like staying on track, and then also disciplining my mind and having a goal and starting to slowly build towards that goal instead of having all these ideas and not finishing them, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, and this has definitely been a year about finding that willpower for me, trying to dig deep and find something, because I think there is something very strong in there, and I've caught glimpses of it in certain situations recently. So I just know it's got to dig deeper, and God is slowly helping me remove everything away so we can see what it is in there that He has planned for me.
Yeah, exercising that muscle.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why if it's difficult, then I think you're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
If it's difficult to do that.
Shouldn't be easy.
No.
If it's easy, it's probably the wrong thing.
It's like, what does it say? The road to hell, it looks like heaven, and the road to heaven looks like hell.
Yeah. There you go.
So,
Feeling pretty good right there. That's a good way to end it.
Yeah. I feel good about that.
This has been a Beloved and Everlasting, log
Mhm.
number 9 on willpower and discipline. Shout out our sponsors again. And it's going to be log 10 next time, or 10th log.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll do a special one for you guys. And yeah, thanks for watching. You guys have a good night.
Appreciate all the support.
Travid,
Dante.
have a good night, guys.